some rich. Got a Bentley and a Bentley, major league with the whiz. Jumping. You know you rich when everybody say you cousin. And all your bitches wanna hold your hand in public. But that shit never fly like a DJ Khaled, I'm a problem. I'm a big one. Nothing much, you got a nigga dancing with the wrist.
Okay, everybody, we're coming back live again. We're just going to wait for Funke to join us, and she's joined us. So we're just waiting for her to come on board, and we're going to talk money. Here she is. I love Funke. She's always just on point. She has turned a friend's business into a multi-billion naira business. All right, this is what it's all about. Funke, thank you for coming back. It's been amazing so far. You can see the questions. Questions are pouring in. I can't even keep up with the amount of questions. So please, some of you, please forgive me if we've not asked some of your questions. But there's so many, but we will keep trying to answer them. People are all coming in. Let me just give them a few seconds to come on board again. Funke, you have been an amazing person, what you've done in the 20 years. I mean, I'm sure if you were in the UK, you would have got a knighthood for your services to the event industry. And we will now be calling you Lady Funke Bucknor. But in Nigeria, we're still waiting for them to give you, what's it, GCFR? I think that's what it's called.
Yes, GCFR, MFR, COR,
So, guys, I think we should be putting Funke's name forward for a nomination because she definitely deserved it with what she's done. I think. And I mean, we might be laughing about it, and it might be a little bit of a joke, but the truth of it is, Funke, is that somebody like me, I came back from England, and I came back from England quite late when I consider how the industry had grown. I came back in 2013, which I'm still a baby in the Nigerian industry. I've been working in the UK for 20 years doing events, but when I came to Nigeria, I came back and I started again. And if it wasn't for the markers that you had laid down, if it wasn't for the things that you had set and put in place, I would have struggled. And I'm going to tell you quickly why I would have struggled. When I first came, my first event, I had problems, big problems, because I came with a English mentality. And my English mentality was, I'm the expert. I know what I'm doing. You are the client. You are paying me. Listen to what I'm saying. Do it the way I tell you. I quickly learned that in Nigeria, forget about it. Whoever is paying you tells you how they want to do it. How do you cope with that? Because it frustrated my life.
Well, let me not lie. It's frustrating at times. It's actually frustrating, but I think that as you go on, or even at different times, you just have to fight your battles. You just have to fight the battles that you can fight, and you just ensure that whatever you are doing, as much as you can, is not what is going to destroy your reputation or your brand. Sometimes, I mean, I've left some things to them. I'll just be like, okay, I've heard. At the back of my mind, I know what I'm even going to do. So sometimes I just agree to disagree.
I like that. Maybe I agree to
disagree. I do that.
But when you I'm going to go into corporate a little bit later, but I think let me tie the corporate into this now. When you do with individuals, okay, I think it's a little bit easier to just say, I will ignore you. I'll do what I want to do. And so long as I give you a good event, move on. And generally, they get caught up in the party and the euphoria, and they move on. But when you deal with corporate, and I mean, I don't know the kind of clients you've dealt with. I have dealt with clients from hell. And you know those kind of corporate events where you have 20 bosses.
Yes.
And each boss knows better than the other person. So when you come and you say, but Toby told me to do this. I beg, don't listen to Toby. I know what I'm doing. Then somebody else will come and say, no, don't listen to Alex. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's not very sharp. Listen to me. And then you've got all these conflicting people coming to you. How do you manage that, sir? How do you make it work? What are the lessons that you can, or the things that you can teach the novice that will soon enter into the corporate world?
Okay. So the first thing is, when you're going into the corporate world, and even this is for even anyone, any space, you must try as much as possible to go in with as much knowledge as you can. Number two, you also have to try and have a bit of, I would call it diplomacy skills. You need to know who is the real decision maker. Okay. And three, you need to really be professional. Now, even in the individual clients, professionalism is key. But in the corporate world, it actually takes it a notch higher. So you need to ensure that whatever you're doing, they cannot see you as someone that doesn't know what you're doing. But basically, you can't be someone that doesn't know what they're doing. Then you need to be able to sift through the information, sift through the committee. We've had committees before where the same thing you said. Somebody will come in and say, I know what to do. Somebody will come in and say, but what I do is I try and read people. So it's not easy. It's not easy because we failed at times. But I try and read. So what I'll do is that I'll look at this person. I'll look at this one is the one that likes this type of things. This one cares about this. This one cares about that. Okay, this is what you do. Sometimes you have to divide and conquer. It takes a lot of, it's not something that I can teach in a day. Sometimes experience will teach you first. When you learn it, then you will now come and now correct it. So, but the key thing is to be that you cannot show yourself as someone that doesn't know what they're doing. They catch that immediately. They will get you. So you need to act like you know what you're doing. You need to, if you don't know what you're doing, bring the experts that know what they're doing be around you. You understand? We've done an event before where, I didn't know some things about where a stage or how something should be. It was Uncle Edilawani that taught me. Uncle Edilawani he was at the meeting. I just made sure. I was just like, so Uncle Ade, and he was like, oh, without saying it, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, when you put it there. Yeah. I didn't know what I was saying at that time. I quickly went to meet him at the back. I said, Uncle Eddie, please explain that thing to me again. I explained it. And I said, okay. So I got more knowledge about that. So the key thing is that you have to be one step ahead. Your communication has to be professional. Even the way you send your emails, the way you call, when you are giving feedback is very, very important. So I know it's not easy to be dealing with 100 million. We've done events where I've wanted to. There are some clients that even today I can't work with them anymore because they are the most difficult people to ever work with, and
I hear you.
They are impossible to please, and that is why anytime they do an event, they use different event producers. When go and look at a company that uses different event producers, there's a reason. Yes. There's a problem. Do you understand? So, a company that keeps on using the same person, but if they even change, you know that they are changing maybe because of they want flexibility, but not that when the last person you speak to the last person will say, those people, So there's some clients that are clients from hell. There's really nothing you can do about that. But the key thing is that you just have to be as professional as you can be. You, the person going into the organization, they need to see you. Your team, they need to see that you have a team. They need to see that you know what you are saying. You know your stuff. You've researched properly. I've done presentations before where we got into the presentation, the younger people on the committee wanted us, Zapphaire, to do the event. The older people on the committee wanted another company.
Right.
At that time, I knew that it was not because of our creativity or our expertise. It was just because the other company just felt more comfortable with the other planner. It wasn't anything. And we were going to hit a brick wall if we struggled to get the job, because the older people were the decision makers at that time and would not have been able to progress or do things better. So I think that what I've learned is that you have to understand the people you're dealing with. You have to understand the team. You have to understand their expectations. What they are looking for, what they're expecting to see. You have to understand the expectation. Expectation is very key for you to understand when you're dealing with corporate clients.
Okay, so let's look at corporate clients versus social events. Zapphaire Events is known for doing a lot of social events. There's no doubt about that. You are the number one, you are the queen of social events. Okay, but I've also seen you dabble into corporate events.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to find out, and I think people need to understand is you sort of touched on some of the things a few seconds ago, but
Yes.
what are the key differences for you of a
Okay.
Zapphaire
Okay.
when you manage a corporate event
Okay.
versus when you do your social events?
Okay. So the first one, and I think I said it, is communication, language. Language. You know, somebody asked a question, you know, when some people want to be formal. Language. The way I speak to a bride, or the way we speak to a client planning a 40th, is different from the way we speak to the corporate client. Language.
Mhm.
Even the delivery, you know, even the way you approach them, the way you speak, the way you present is different. It's not that you're not professional in both, but it's just that there's just a higher level, I would say a higher level of maybe expectation. Maybe that's kind of what I this is what I've experienced. So when it's corporate, it's more so in when it comes to weddings, if I go for a meeting, when it comes to weddings, I can go with a team of 2 people or 3. When I'm going for the corporate, I'm going with a team of 6 or 5. I'm going with a team that is going. This person is the concept designer. This one is the budgeting master. This is the communicator. This is the, you know, that you understand. You are going in with, you are trying to show them that because they are used to dealing in a certain type of way. When you're dealing with corporate clients, they are used to dealing with professionals on every level. So you need to show them that you are also professional, that you are not just an errand girl or an errand boy or an errand company, and that you understand the technicalities of the space you're coming into. You understand the how will I call it now? Yeah, so the language is very different. That's one. Secondly, another thing that is also very different is that even the way you present your work is different. So in when it comes to corporate, you know, usually they will tell you to come and do a presentation. There's usually like a bid. You go in there. You know, even the process is different from a wedding, from a social event. You know, even if a social event, you're still going to do that. But in the corporate world, is a bit different. You know, so they are used to sending you I've forgotten the line you see now. RFPs. Yes, they're sending you RFPs and they're telling you the brand guidelines and they're showing you this and they're telling you that, you know. So it's very different. Not like a wedding that the bride will just call you and just say, "Oh, I'm planning my wedding. Can you just come and see me?" Even if you send a form, you tell them to fill a form. But for the corporate world, they've already sent you their RFP. They have sent you what they are looking for. They have sent you what they want. They have told you how to even do the presentation. They have even told you how to put it, what document to put it inside, how to do. The process is very different. So when you're doing that, so because of that, the stakes are also higher. So with corporate events, you can actually charge more. You can charge more because the stakes are higher. You know, you're dealing with a larger team. You're dealing with, you know, some things that are different. So when we do corporate events, because we do corporate events, and because so we started out as a wedding planning company, and we started as wedding planning, social events. But we now got along the way, got clients that would now want us. So we did an event somewhere, and the client said, "Oh, I like the way you did it. Come and plan our end of year party, or come and plan our product launch. Come and do this, come and do that." When we're doing such events, we realize what they're looking for. It's not the social type. You understand? It's not the Funke dancing. They don't want to see me dance. They don't want to, they're not looking for those type of things. They want to see, can these people even be professional? So, you know, you're going in there with your professionalism on the highest level. You know, and if you want to dance at the end and they say dance, when all of them are now dancing and they pull you on the dance floor, you are dancing. But at the beginning, you are dealing, you know, you're very formal, you know, and your language, I'm very particular about the language. I think the language is key. Documentation, which actually works for both clients, is very important. You must always make sure that there's documentation, that everything is written down, everything is emailed or sent. I don't think WhatsApp suffices. Emails are so important. Hey, because one person can say you didn't send the email.
That's right.
Emails, yes. So emails are so important. You know, getting sign-offs You know, you make sure that somebody signs off on what it is. Don't say they said I should go do it over the phone. Even if they say you should do it over the phone, send an email to say based on our conversation.
That's
you
it.
do, and this you must also do this with social events. So I'm not just saying it's only for corporate, but guess what? For corporate, because they are dealing with 500 people, it's very easy for things to fall through the crack. You see, for a wedding, you are dealing with just a few people. You are dealing with maybe only the couple, or you are dealing with only the parents. You know, but with this one, you're dealing with like 8 different people. There's a committee. There's always a committee. There's always a committee. They'll bring people from HR. They'll bring people from corporate communications. They'll bring somebody from office of the governor. They'll bring office of the CEO. They'll bring the CEO's PA. They'll bring the clinical. There will now be 8 people in the room, and you now say there will be no email. You must send email. You must get sign off. You must all those things, because somebody can say I didn't approve it.
Yeah.
So documentation is very key. Documentation is very key. Language, you know, of course, and then of course, you know, what else will I say? I think basically, I think that those are the things that just kind of like seem like it makes it different. But it's actually, those things should actually also be applied in social events and weddings or social events. But it's just that, okay, let me tell you another difference. Yes, this is another difference. Social events are emotional. You are dealing with emotions. Corporate events, you are not dealing with emotions. Nobody cares.
Right, yeah.
Nobody cares. So in social events, you are dealing with a bride that is sad. A bride that just told her mommy said you are dealing with, so you're going to pamper mommy, pamper daddy, pamper the uncle, pamper the father, pamper everybody. You talk to the bride, you hug guy, you do this. In corporate again, nobody got time for shit. Nobody got time for that. You know, you gotta do your work, you gotta do your work. You know, so nobody has time for emotions. You're not going there to pamper anybody. They are very technical. So maybe, you know, they're more technical. It's technical. Maybe the word I've been looking for is they're more technical. You know, so nobody is dealing with emotions. Yes, emotions are there. Please don't get me wrong. Emotions are there, but not on that level of individual events. So the emotions, because you have to deal with people's egos. No. See, before you even, as you were saying, I just said, you have to deal with people's egos. So you're still going to be dealing with egos. You're still going to be dealing with different types of people, and you have to learn how to manage them. So the one that does not like you, the one that thinks that the boss brought you in, the one that thinks that why must they give the work to you? I have somebody that you wanted to give it to. You have to deal with all those people. So you will deal with them, but you are not dealing with them from an emotional point of view, on like a wedding or a social event where the bride is more your friend, she's more your sister. You know, you're just bonding and you're just like, the corporate people don't have time for all that bonding. They just want to get the job done. Do you understand? So it's more technical, and those are all the things that I would say that makes it a little bit different.
I also think there's another thing that people also need to bear in mind, and I think Toby raised the point about emotion, and you also raised the point there, which is the emotion comes into play because for some of these people that are meant to lead on this, it is part of their KPIs. So in other words, their promotion, their bonus or even their job can depend upon how good that event turns out to be. So sometimes when you see people freaking out, it's not always because they just want to be a super horrible person, but it's because they're seeing their jobs on the line. And unfortunately, in the corporate world, is a dog-eat-dog world. And I have seen situations where a person has messed up an event from internally, and they fire that person.
Sacked. Yes. Oh, yes.
It happens. So sometimes if you're getting into the corporate world and you see people like this, you have to not take on that emotional. You have to understand why they're going through that and not make it a personal thing. We've had clients, and I'm sure you've had it so many times, where you are standing in there and they're washing you down in front of everybody. They're screaming and shouting, how useless are you? How this are you? Blah, blah, blah. You're just saying, okay, ma'am. Okay, sir. What can I do? How can I do it? Is that what you should be doing? Is it what about how I can do it? Why didn't you do it the first time? So these are things that happen. So people, when you listen to this, bear that in mind. Okay, let's talk money. Because you have
money.
Yes,
all the money.
It makes the world go round. Money makes the world go round.
Yes.
So I want to divide this money thing into 2 parts, okay? So that there's a nice flow. As we're talking about corporate, let's talk about corporate first.
Okay.
Then I want to move into how we make money on social events. Now, people
Okay.
look at you, and one of the things that everybody says is that it's okay, it's Funke, she's big, she can charge a fortune, she can do this, she can do that. But we've gone for competitive bids. Sometimes you win, sometimes we win. So in the
Yes.
corporate world, how do people understand, or what do people need to bear in mind when they're thinking about how they should charge a client? Because I don't believe anywhere there's a set rule. So what's the advice that you would give to people on that?
Okay, how to charge? Well, I would say that first of all, in the corporate world, okay, this life is also very it's not a private life. But okay, honestly, in the corporate world, I usually, there are two ways to charge. Some people
Mm-hmm.
do a percentage, and some
Yes.
people charge a flat fee.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to, I think that what one needs to consider when you're also charging, especially in the corporate space, is the level of work that you do in the corporate world is very different from what you do in some social, I said some, because some social
Mm-hmm.
events are also like the corporate space.
Yes,
So
yes.
you have to consider many factors. The corporate space, they do a lot of meetings. They do a lot of, they do a lot of, there's a lot of recce's. You're going to be doing a lot of recce's. There are things that you will do in the corporate space that you will probably not really do as much of in the wedding space. Then it's not an individual, it's a company. So I
Mm-hmm.
would say that when it comes to the corporate space, we actually usually charge higher because it's a it's a corporate organization. It's not an individual. So I would say that, in the corporate space, and maybe because the time that they used to plan their events is also sometimes shorter.
Mm-hmm.
It's shorter. It's not as long. A wedding, you can plan a wedding for a year. In the corporate world, they don't. You can sometimes they'll just call you 3 months, 2 months. The money that you have made for planning one event for 1 year, you have made it when you have gone to do your corporate events. Actually, so so I would say that in the corporate space, I would say that I think that you can charge a little bit higher because it's a corporate, but you have to justify on.
Yeah, I'm still on. Sorry.
Okay,
We're
so
in
you have
Nigeria.
to,
You know how life is.
yes, of course, of course. So you have to justify why it's higher, and that's why sometimes even in the corporate space, there are things like you're dealing with concepts, you're dealing with conceptualization, you're dealing with event production, you're dealing with managing of vendors, all those things, and then you're dealing with I would say their own maybe there are more days you have to do for setup, so you have to consider all those things in your bill. Usually for weddings, you don't usually have a lot of days to set up. The setup usually just a day before, that kind of thing. So, but for corporate world, they usually, because of their brand and because of the things that they're trying to protect, they like to make sure that things are done way before so that they can inspect it, they can check it, they can ensure that, it's working accordingly. So I would say that
Mm-hmm.
maybe for the corporate space, definitely one should charge more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, you understand that. The other thing that I'm just going to say about corporates as well, when some people are thinking about going into corporates, there's certain companies that you need to register with, that unless you are registered with them,
Yes.
they will not give you jobs.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm going to give you a tip on this one. The registration is quite onerous. You would have to
Yeah.
produce tax
Tax.
clearance,
Yes.
pensions,
Yes.
um, so many employer
Yes.
liability, a lot of things that a lot of small companies don't have. So sometimes when you hear this, instead of running away from the job, you come to a Mahogany, you come to a Zapphaire, you come to one of the big companies that that have all these documentation, sit down with them and strike a deal. Okay? It doesn't
Yes.
mean you always have to walk away, but at the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
time, you do have
Yeah.
to bear it in mind that once Zapphaire or Mahogany is registered, they're the ones that are registered, not you. So you
Yes.
need to bear that in mind as well. Okay, so let's look at social events. Esteria Ware asks, as a new planner, how do you put your package together without shooting yourself in the foot? So in other words, how do you cost? How do you put a cost for labor? Basically, they don't know how to charge for their time, possibly how to charge for the entire event. What would you advise them?
Okay, now it's in fact this is so interesting because I'm taking a class on pricing tomorrow in our training school. What you need to do is, first of all, you need to look at what would my own time cost. What is my time? How do I value my time? If I was doing this somewhere else or doing this anywhere else, what is the value of my time? You need to first of all think about that. Then you need to think about how much will I okay, let me take it like this. So your time, the value of your time. So for example, Funke Bucknor-Obruthe, I'm going to be working on this project. How much is my time worth? You need to calculate that. Now, let me even go there. Let me tell you another way to get it done. I think that you also need to try and check what the people around you are charging. Let me tell you why.
But how do you get that information? Like if you come to me, am I going to tell you how much I'm charging?
No, I'm not. No, it's not. You will not tell me now. It's not you that will tell me now. But I will know somebody that you have done an event for or something. You need to try and research. Let me tell you why you need to do it a bit.
True, that's true.
Why you need to do it is that you don't want to price yourself too low and too high. You price yourself too high and you're a newbie, people will be wondering, what do you think? What have you done? You price yourself too low and they may think you are too cheap. Maybe you don't know anything. So what you want to do is that you want to benchmark your price with the people that you are in the same segment with. Please, there's a reason why I'm saying that. In the same segment and market. Don't say you want to enter the industry and you want to benchmark your price with Mahogany. I don't know if you understand. I'm not saying that you shouldn't aspire, but the key thing is that you have to look at it. What do I have? What expertise do I have? What staff strength do I have? What do I have that can allow me charge the same way Mahogany is charging? What am I bringing to the table that Mahogany is also bringing to the table? Are we on the same level?
Yeah.
When you think about that, you look at all the different people in the industry and say, okay, this one is charging like this, one is charging like this. Okay, maybe this is what I think I want to charge. Maybe also, for example, somebody's charging 1 million, somebody's charging 2 million, somebody's charging 3 million. I think I want to charge, if I look at it based on where I am, I think my own money can be 500,000. Now, that 500,000, please don't forget that you have to think about your office expenses. You have to think about your tax. You're going to pay tax at the end of the day. You have to think about the things that you need to do to get the job done. You're going to have labor. How many people do you need to work on this project with you? How much will you pay them? You cannot do the project by yourself. So how many people will work on it? How much do you need to pay them? At the end of the day, by the time you finish that project, so you finish your job. Let's say you got a job in January and you started working 3 months before. You need to think that, okay, in a month, how much is it going to cost me to work on this job? How much time am I going to need to work on this job? How am I going to, what expenses do I need to be able to work on this job? That is 3. So you calculate your 3 months. So if you, for example, you have charged 500K, meaning that 100K, maybe it's about 200 and something, 180,000 per month is what you are spending on this job, right? So you need to think about it, that is it worth my time and what I want to do? Can I, after this job, will I be able to eat? If I finish this job, have I been able to cover all my expenses? So those are some of the things that you need to think about. The truth is, nobody can tell you how much to charge because everybody has different, different skills, different expertise, different workforce that they bring to the table. So for example, someone that is just a one-man person, you cannot compare yourself to a Mahogany that is maybe a 10-man company that has an office, let's say maybe in Ikoyi. I'm just saying. So and then you will now say, oh, I want to, Mahogany is charging 5 million. I'm going to collect 5 million on this job. What do they mean? You understand? So you need to sit down and look at, okay, I'm a newbie. I want to enter the space. What do I need to do to enter the space that I'm not too low or too high? That at the end of the day, they will not benchmark me with this 500,000 I've got to say I'm charging. So what am I bringing to the table? So you must be bringing something different to the table. You know, maybe you don't have the labor, you don't have the workforce, but you have the expertise, you have the concept. Look, sometimes people pay for concept more than they even pay for labor. So you need to look at all those things, and those are the things and then each event is different. Each event requires different timings. Each event is different on different scales. There are times that sometimes you will do some events, maybe you do a percentage, and then you do a percentage, and then you also now charge a flat fee. There are times that you will charge a production fee. There are times that you will charge a concept fee. So there are different ways to charge. You just have to look at what works for your own organization. Because the truth is, we don't have a standard way of charging in Nigeria. We don't have it. Even abroad, I spoke to a few of my friends, and it was, yes, I was saying to a few of my friends in America, and they said that the way they charge is, they charge a production fee, they charge a vendor management fee, then they now come and charge concept fee. I said, you charge all those three things. Also, I want the bill. They said, yeah, and the pay, and my starting. I said, in Nigeria, I don't know that we can come and say we're charging production. Then we're not going to charge managing the vendor. Then we're not come and charge. I don't know. They were like, no, you should try it. You should be the pace setter in your country. You should be the. I'm like, my man, I was like, I don't know about that. So you understand?
But, okay, remember that woman you brought from Texas? So I can't remember her name. The white woman. Remember what she said about consultancy charge?
Yes, Sissy. Yes.
That's it. Yes. They even charge even just to have a chat with them. There's a fee.
Yes.
You haven't even given them the job.
Yes. So what I learned that from someone as well, and I think that is something that anybody can take to the table. I learned it from another friend of mine. She said that what she does is that when she sends you the document, she already puts it's already a generic proposal that tells you who she is. So you already know who she is. Now, if you now want her to start working for you, you have to pay her a retainer fee. And then that's when she starts working. That's what they do. Some of them do it in America. In Nigeria, sometimes most of us pitch for jobs. They don't pitch. Some of them don't pitch. Some of these people don't pitch. We have to go and pitch. We'll go and do presentation. We'll stay there, sweat, come for 1 hour. After we finish, they'll say they gave the job to somebody else. Sometimes, so I have some event planner friends that don't pitch. Some me Funke, I don't pitch. If they don't call me for the work, they don't call me, and they're comfortable, they're okay. We will still pitch. Let me not lie you. So as I say, I still they go pitch. You understand? If they call us and come and pitch, if there's some big organization that I've been dreaming to work with, come in to come and pitch, I go. So everything I'm saying here is not like I'm telling you that this is how we will do it. So don't listen, don't pitch. Nah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to say that you need to know what works for your organization. And until we all come together in the events industry and have one voice and say that maybe this is how we are charging, the way the advertising industry does it, then that's the only way we can all say that this is how pricing will be.
Yeah. I mean, you've touched on some great points there, particularly about charging, particularly about whether you can do consultancy, whether you bid or not. Because, I mean, we've had that debate. Should we bid? Should we not bid? We do a lot of corporate events. And unfortunately, corporate events have shareholders. They have board of directors.
Yes.
So if you want to get into the corporate space and you don't want to bid, forget it. Because 9 times out of 10, they are going to make you bid at least for the first year. Once you become a registered vendor, then they might decide that, okay,
that you don't have to bid, bid
anymore because you've been tried and tested. Everything works. Chidima says, taking you back to when you started, how did you deal with fear of uncertainties?
Fear of uncertainty. Oh, wow. Okay. That is the fear that all of us have in life, and will continue to have it, because in life, there's nothing that is certain every time. Life isn't certain. I think that maybe I've kind of learned that. So life isn't certain, you know, and when you are going into something, what stops us a lot of times is fear. We're usually very afraid. We're afraid of what people will say. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of mistakes. We're afraid of what people will say. We're afraid of, will they laugh at me? What would they think of my idea? So how I dealt with it was, I just dealt with it. I just pushed him. I just did it. You know, I realized that I wanted to do this. I wasn't sure. Let me not lie to you. I wasn't sure if it was going to succeed or not. I really wasn't sure. So, you know, when somebody's saying something, I wasn't sure. but I just knew that it was something that I felt was needed. So I started it, and then when people started receiving it, I started realizing that, oh my God, this can work. So that uncertainty of will people receive it or not was something that was very made me afraid. But maybe my age, I was younger. I was just coming out of law school. I was doing my youth service, so I was young. But so maybe I was fearless at that time. Maybe there was audacity, I don't know. But I'm still trying. So let me also tell you something. So I'm still trying to do some new businesses today, and it is the same way that I had fear that I'm going to do it. And I've done businesses even at this time in right now that have failed. So I've done things that didn't get off the ground. I've done things that, I thought at the end of the day, I just thought, what did I do? Why did I do that kind of thing? You understand? But guess what? What those things have taught me is that every time those things have happened to me, I've used it to learn how to do something better. So uncertainty is the bane of life. We don't even know what tomorrow is going to be. We don't know. So we can have a 10-year goal, can have a 15-year plan, can have a 20-year plan. But guess what? It's only the grace of God it's only God that is setting. So uncertainty is life generally. So there's nothing you will do in this life that is going to be certain. So you need to fight the fear. The fear, because fear is it can cripple you. It's something that can hold you back. So you need to fight it. And guess what? What is the worst thing? You will fail. You will fall flat. People will laugh. But guess what? You'll get up. You'll get up. You'll get up. You'll get up. I've gotten up several times. I've made mistakes. You'll get up. And I think that those are the things that have helped me, because I look at, I'm an introspective person. I look at things a lot. I may not look like I do, but I sometimes I say to myself, okay, now, wow, you should have done this like this, you should have done this like this. But in the end, I'm like, okay, regret is not going to get me anywhere. Hey, let's start moving. So fear and uncertainty will come. You just have to push through it. And it's just by taking one step at a time.
Wow. Funke, this has been so insightful. I mean, if I could pay you for this, I would not have a problem paying you your money, because what we've learned from you this evening over this last hour and a half plus is insightful, is invaluable. I mean, I think particularly for those that are new in business or those that have been struggling, hearing your story gives them that motivation to know that when they're going through their problems and their struggles, they can get over them and can still become a Zapphaire Events, can still become a Funke Bucknor, can still become whatever it is they want to achieve. But they do have to understand that you will hit roadblocks. You will hit obstacles. Now, your choice is, when you hit the obstacle, do you hit it and turn back and say, well, my life is over, let me move on to somebody else? Or do you do like KFC, that he went to 1,270 different restaurants before one restaurant took his recipe? And look at KFC today. Do you understand? So people have to think about that. But before we go, if I don't ask you this question, everybody will kill me. When you do events, yes, when we look at your videos, when we look at your events, one of the things that everybody looks forward to, besides seeing the wonders that you have created, your wedding in Wonderland and all those different things that you have done, is that video where you are dancing. We have to see that video. If we don't see the video, we feel that, no, you have not done this event. So, what brought about this? How did it start? How has it now become your signature? I can't say signature move, but everybody knows you that, forget that event. I have skipped to the end. We want to find out where she's dancing. What brought it about? How has it become so popular?
Okay, thank you for that question. I think that before I answer that question, I just want to quickly say something. One of the things that just came to me when you were talking, when I was talking earlier, and I just wanted to say, just so that I don't forget, is that for anyone that is listening today, one thing I want to tell anyone is, you need to ensure that whatever you're doing or whatever you're trying to do, you want to do it well. You want to do it excellently. I think that that's something that what makes you get up? So what makes you get up when you fail is that You want to do it better the next time. You want to do it excellently. You want to have added value. And you know the why you're doing it. Why did you come into business in the first place? Why are you running your business? Why are you in your job? There's a reason for it. That reason is what gets you up every single time. I just wanted to say that. Now the dancing part. I love this. Okay, so I'll be this is true talk, right? I've always danced. I've danced since I was young. I've danced since I was 3 years old. I've always been a dancer. Anytime I go, I was always the dancing competition person in school. When I was in secondary school, I was always dancing. I would do dancing. I was in the elite. When I got to university, any party I was always going to clubs. I would dance year 1 to year 3, dance, go club, dance, weekend. I loved dancing. Even when I became born again and I went into fellowship, I was the head of choreography. So I was always a dancer. I've always liked dancing. Now, dancing, I love it. It's not like I'm forced. It's forced. I just love doing it. But what I now started doing was at events. When I'm doing an event, I'm dancing with the bride. You know, I'm just like, there's music and I'm just like dancing. And then all of a sudden, I will just do a video of me dancing. I'll post it. People say, oh my God, oh, you're dancing. I thought, this dance, okay. I will do again, I'll post. And that was just how we started. I just realized that, people look forward to it. I had clients that at the event, they will say to me, you haven't danced with me. And I thought, oh, you know I dance? Oh, I'm like, oh, you know I dance? They're like, oh, yeah. You did dance with me. When are you going to see your signature dance? And I'm like, okay. And I go and dance. I have to dance. At the end of I have to even dance with them by force. I get on the dance floor. I dance. I dance with the friends of the bride. I dance with the friends of the celebrant. And I just dance. But what thing I want to say, because, you know, some people misconstrue it and say an event planner that dances. Now, I want to also let everybody understand that my personality is not a personality. I cannot, let me give you one thing. When I was in secondary school, the seniors in my secondary school thought I was too hyperactive. So when I got into GS1, they said to me, you need to stop. You're too hyper, girl. You need to stop. What is all this? This girl is too all over the place. So I said, okay, not a problem. So I started being gentle. I will be walking. I'll be doing. There were the same people that called me and said, sorry, we're sorry. Please be yourself. Be yourself. So what am I taking from there? I'm being myself. This is not anybody else. This is me. I am just me. This is how I am. I've always been like that. I have been like that. I can dance anywhere. They call me, you know, when they say Ala Jota, I can dance anywhere, anywhere. There's nothing. Music can be playing, I'll stand up and be dancing. I'll be the only one. But I understand places I have to dance. It's not everywhere I dance. And it's not every time. So that's why I said understand the environment. So I won't enter a bank is doing an AGM. They are playing music and not just start dancing there. I will not dance there now. I will even dance at the end of the AGM. Maybe when everybody has gone and the music is playing, I can now dance in the room. I'll take a video and say, but I will not dance when they are there because it doesn't make me, to those people, it doesn't make me look professional enough. I've had clients before that I've had clients that have said, we can't use her because she dances. We don't want someone that will come and be dancing at our event. Wow. Guess what? After the client, we now worked for that client. The client on the day of the event, whether we work for this client, the client said, now I understand why you dance. I understand what your dance does. Your dance brings joy to your clients. Your dance makes the client happy. Please don't stop dancing. This was the client that I had heard somewhere that said that my dancing, like, oh, she's always dancing. So if I had listened to that comment and I went to change who I was,
yes,
I would not, that same client would not say what they said. So what I realized is that my dancing actually makes people happy. People are happy. People, it makes them happy. You know, like even me when I'm dancing, I'm happy when I'm dancing. When you are watching me, you are happy seeing me dance. So it just makes everybody happy. I just like dancing because I'm just happy. I'm just happy because I'm happy. I'm just happy. just happy. That's it.
Oh, Funke, you are such an amazing person. I mean, it must be very hard for your family and friends to be sad when you're around, because just being around you, that energy, that exuberance, that nothing gets me down. I mean, I know the trials and tribulations you've been through over the last year and stuff like that. It's not been easy, but you still do everything with a smile on your face. I mean, God has blessed you. There's no doubt about that. He has been with you through these trying times, so we know that as well. And I think everybody in the industry, we appreciate you. I've very rarely gone out that anybody has had a bad word to say about you. I don't think I've ever heard. You're always looked up in admiration, and I want to thank you. See, I did put my hand here. I want to
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
enormously, not only for coming on the show, but also doing us 2 hours. It's not easy. I know what it's like. You're
Thank
in
you.
demand everywhere I go. Funke tonight, Funke this, Funke that. Funke, thank you so much. It's been
Thank
so
you.
great.
Thank you for
Guys,
having
if
me.
you love what she's done, please send your thumbs up, send some love hearts. Let her know how much she's appreciated. She is our industry leader. I'm still going to
Hey,
call you Mama, even though there's a
hey,
little bit of an
hey,
age gap between
hey.
us, but you are the Mama of the industry, and that's the truth. And we have to give recognition where recognition is due. Funke, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on board. We love you
Thank
loads.
you.
We're definitely going
Thank
to
you
have
so
you on
much.
again, and we have a different topic for
No
me and
problem.
you next time. And we're going to enter inside your brain and pull out that knowledge that is inside there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Shola. Honestly, I'm so grateful. Thank you for having me. You are someone that I truly, truly admire. Like I mean, anytime I see you, I never think that you are like you're older. You're way older. You are so nice. You're so friendly, and even everybody that works with you, they're so amazing. They're so pleasant and so great. And I think that just goes to show about your personality. You are, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, we're going to end in a few minutes. We just want to say bye to Funke now as she goes off, and I'll just be doing a roundup as normal. Funke, good night. Okay, guys, I mean, I think that has been such an amazing and insightful nearly 2 hours of non-stop information. I think we have torn out her brains to pieces. You can definitely see the information she has. There's a lot to learn. If you have any questions, please DM us or send them to Funke. She's always a good person. She or her team members will always get back to you and give you answers to your questions. Please, collaborations, get involved, talk to people. There's people like us, there's other event people that have been around a long time. Talk to them, get that knowledge, share that knowledge, work with them, do an internship, do voluntary work. Let me give you a story. I know my Gege doesn't like me saying it, but I'll give you her story. My Gege, as my general manager, she's been with me now for over 6, 7 years. She started with me as a volunteer. She didn't get paid for her first 2 or 3 jobs, volunteer. And that's what I keep trying to say. And I Funke said the same thing, that she had people that started as interns, volunteers. They're now head of planning, head of creativity. They head up their own teams within Zapphaire. So there's nothing wrong in starting at the bottom. If you get to the right company, you will rise to the top. If you give hard work, if you're dedicated, if you do all those things, trust me, you'll get to the top. And if your eventual plan is to go up and set up your own business, you'll be able to set it up well. Anyway, guys, it's been a long evening. I don't want to keep you here forever. I'd like to thank you for joining Mahogany on True Talk. It's been an amazing time with Funke Bucknor. Don't forget, we'll be back again next week, Tuesday, with another amazing guest. We're covering the entire event industry, bringing in people that have got experience, people that can teach you stuff. So please make sure you come back. Tomorrow, we've got Insta Live on Mahogany Models, which will be talking to models about how to how important photography is. On Thursday, Fashion's Finest Africa on the chat room, we're going to be having Anita Kwanzaa, who's a Ghanaian living in the UK, who's going to be talking about what it's like building a fashion brand in the diaspora. All right, so you can catch us every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in our different Instagram live shows. I'd like to thank you all for being on board, guys. Without you, these things don't happen. We love you. Don't be a stranger. DM us. We will be posting this on our IG page. We'll be posting on YouTube. See you again next week, everybody. Take care now. Let me do my funke. Hey, you know I can't dance. My team will be laughing at me. But let me shake my head small.